Hey toy fans, Aaron here, and today we're going to take a look at the 3 3/4 inch basic version of Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. This figure does come to us on the Less Jedi carded line, but of course we saw him in the last 15-30 seconds of Force Awakens as well. So let's get this guy cracked open and take a closer look. Taking a look at the figure first with the cloak on. It's very nice looking, nice sculpting to it. I like the painting of the figure. And while I've got that cloak on, we'll take a closer look at it. You can see it's got the hood molded down, folded pretty nicely. And then aside from kind of the wrinkles in the fabric molded in through the rest of it, it's just a plain grayish piece of plastic. But it fits in nicely on the figure, and I think it blends in pretty well around the shoulders and head area. And that cloak does slide on and off pretty easily. It just slips on over the figure's shoulders. And with that cape off to get a better look at the figure. Overall, I do think it looks good. I like the way the fabric looks, molded into that plastic. I do think proportionately, maybe the head is a bit bigger than the body than it should be, but I think that's mostly due to the fact that they molded the figure with the cloak being on. Otherwise, I think the body's just a little bit slim here. Going in on the head sculpt, I think the sculpting is pretty decent to Luke Skywalker or Mark Hamill. I would have liked a little more brown in the hair and the beard instead of the all gray that we're seeing. I don't think he's really all that full-blown gray look yet. But the paint application is done pretty nicely, and I kind of think that hair is a separate piece as well. I think that's glued on. I kind of see some separation running along the edge of the beard and forehead and stuff. If you can tell, even tighter on his beard, he has even additional grayness added in there. Kind of looks like a thumbprint. Someone just stuck their fingers on there to add some paint. Getting to the main body of the figure, things are looking pretty good through here. You've got a nice white for the robes, and then a little bit of light gray for his inner robes. I like the look of the robotic hand. For the 5-point figure in this basic line, I think we're getting a pretty decent looking figure here. Looking in on the belt, that appears to be a separately molded piece as well, and then attached on with the seam running in the backside of the figure. Get some additional paint detailing with the silver buckle and then the silver hook for the lightsaber. Doesn't come with one. Does make me wonder if this will be like the 6-inch Black Series Rey, where first she was released without a lightsaber, and then after the movie was released, she came with one. And then looking farther down the leg area, again, the cloak continues. It's definitely got that Jedi look that you would expect. Painting's pretty good through here, and I like the molding. I gotta say, I do like the sides of the legs, where you can see his boots and stuff kind of sticking through. Definitely like that additional look to the figure. As for the articulation, everything is pretty much as you would expect from a 5-point line. That head swivels around. No problem with getting some range there. And you get a little bit of up and down as well for that figure. As for the arms, obviously, they do swing up and down. No problems with that. And then for the leg area, you're able to bring up each leg individually and nothing backwards. And then to note, inside these legs, you do have some additional molding for the leg itself, showing that in there, a little fabric and some boot molding. And that carries through to both sides. And of course, on the bottom of the left foot, you do have the Force Link symbol. And as far as the sounds of the Force Link,
may the Force be with you. Come, I'll show you the true meaning of the Force. Trust your instincts. Come, I'll show you the true meaning of the Force.
And then those sounds when you do the Force activation of, battle mode or whatever they call it.
Stay back. Leave this place. Trust your instincts. Come, I'll show you the true meaning of the Force.
So obviously we got some new lines of dialogue in there. I've got to say, it sounds like a very young Luke Skywalker rather than old man Luke. So I think it's pretty obvious we're not getting actual lines of dialogue from the movie. A little bit disappointing to not hear him in his old man sound. And so that's Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, as he is all old and stuff. Took a couple years, but we finally got a figure of how we saw him in Force Awakens. And overall, I do think it's pretty decent looking. I would have liked a little bit more brown or tan painting in the hair, because I don't think he's all that gray. But like I said, I do think for the most part, it is still a decent looking figure. And so that wraps up this look at Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. I'd love to know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.